Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Today is the 13th. It's a Thursday of February 2020. Welcome to the show. Anyway, listen, let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here. You know what? The Fed is injecting money like crazy. The repo business is not over. $79 billion in liquidity they injected in another oversubscribed repo operation. This was supposed to be over. They're supposed to be a short-term thing. They can't quit because the markets will fall. They have to keep injecting money into the system. They have to keep rolling over these loans. They have to keep the whole thing established and going. Meanwhile, we got our black swan, which is growing exponentially. It's going to get to be an enormous black swan event. And all of this is coming to a head. The markets, like I say, it's a crescendo. Everything's leading up to this great big crisis that's coming in our future that's going to be like nothing we've ever seen before, because the Chinese economy, it was getting ready to roll over before we had the black swan event come along. And China is so over-leveraged, it's unbelievable. They helped us out of the last crisis. They really, by building their ghost cities and everything else that they did, and their real estate projects and everything, and investing all their money into real estate within China. And a lot of this real estate's not even finished. It's apartment buildings, skyscrapers built out in farmers' fields, with no roads leading to them or anything. I've seen the pictures, they just put enough cement underneath the building to build a foundation right in the farmer's field with no roads leading up to it or anything. And then they sell all the apartments inside, and the apartments aren't even finished. Like there's floorings missing. The walls aren't even finished. All the appliances aren't hooked up or anything, and the apartment might go for like $1 million for I heard that in Hong Kong right now, real estate is $2,000 per square foot. Per square foot. That's what real estate costs in Hong Kong right now. Talk about a bubble. Anyway, let's move on and take a look at the prices of things today. Silver, $17.66. She's up 21 cents on the day so far, but she's still within her range because the high side of her range is $17.80, and so we're looking at $17.66 on silver. But we'll take that 21 cent increase in price. We'll take it. Gold is up $7.50 on the day. It's at $15.73.30. Gold is on the high side of its range right now at 15. Its range is anywhere from between 15.75 to about 15.60. But I'll tell you what, I see massive increases in price coming for gold and silver when real fear starts to hit the marketplace, and I think it's like a countdown clock's on right now, counting down to when the real fear comes. You've never seen fear in the market like I think you're gonna see coming. Right now, the greed index is up nice and high, but there's no fear, and the market responds totally different between fear and greed, and that's how the market actually responds. There's only two emotions the market responds to, is fear and greed, mostly greed. Anyway, let's move on and take a look at cryptocurrencies today. 302.2 billion. I checked this morning and it did drop down below the 300 billion mark, but now it's back up above the 300 billion mark. 61.8 Bitcoin dominance. Now I'm going to tell you, as long as you see that Bitcoin dominance low and dropping, the bull market continues. And we see it actually dropping, the Bitcoin dominance. Heck, it'll be in the 50s soon if it keeps on like this. Looking at a Bitcoin price of 10,240, Ethereum at 269, XRP's at 32.5 cents. And, you know, that 0.5 cents means a lot. Now, not so much with Bitcoin. A penny doesn't mean hardly anything. But when you're talking about XRP, a price increase of a penny is a big deal. You know, 32.5 cents for XRP. Bitcoin Cash is $470, $358 for Bitcoin SV, and Litecoin is 81 bucks. EOS is $5.32. Binance Coin's $25.95. Tezos is $3.23. Cardano is 6.9 cents. Stellar is 8.3 cents. Tron is 2.4 cents. Monero is $91.14. And Chainlink is $3.99. Ethereum Classic is $11.93, and we'll finish with Dash at $130.87. Okay, so those are your top coins for today. Now let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And we see it down 148 points. It doesn't want to drop. It really doesn't. But the Black Swan event out there is kind of making them drop. It's making them think a little bit, you know. It's making them stand back a little bit from the greed, you know, the greed that they want to show, you know, and they want to buy everything up. Even if these corporations, I can see a time coming where the Fed is stimulating the market so hard that a corporation goes bankrupt the same day that their stock hits record highs. And they go bankrupt. They file Chapter 11, right? The same day their stock hits a record high. And they fire all their employees and go home and they close the building for the whole business. And the stock is still hitting a record high and going up higher. I mean, it's getting to be, the whole thing's getting to be unreasonable, you know? Let's take a look now at crude oil. $51.43. It's up 26 cents on the day. Let's take a look at our U.S. Treasuries. And we'll focus the chart in a little bit here so we can see them better. They've went over to a different format on the Treasuries here on their site. And they're much smaller numbers. Much harder to see. But we're going to take a look here. It's the Treasury yields are falling. But the biggest falls we see are around 1 basis point is all. So it's not a big deal. We're looking at a 10-year at 1.61. And we're looking at the 30-year at 2.08. You know, but we can see our yield curve inversion is either very close, like we still have the yield curve inversion there, even though the 10 year is made just fractionally above the lower end of the yield curve. Looking at the 1 month at 1.56 and a 10-year at 1.61. So there's not a whole lot of difference there. It's not a whole lot of spread. Let's take a look now at the U.S. dollar index. We're looking at a very strong dollar today. Dollar is at 99.02. It's finally made it up above 88, the 88s, and it's into the 99s. We're going to continue to see the dollar remain quite strong because the euro is weakening somewhat, and that's mostly what the dollar is compared against. I think 60% of the U.S. dollar index is made up of the euro, you know? And when we see 99.02, we also see people want to be in cash right now. A lot of investors are wanting to be in cash, you know? I think it's a big mistake because the other side of that coin is cash can be printed to infinity, especially when there's problems in the world, economic problems, huge economic problems. So listen, thank you guys for listening to this report. Like and subscribe. Remember to give me a thumbs up. Those thumbs up are very important for my channel. Really appreciate my listening audience out there. You guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you very soon again. Bye-bye.